In an age dominated by technology, where social media notifications compete for our attention and digital acquaintances are many, loneliness has sadly become a silent epidemic sweeping through our lives in our modern era. It's a shadow that creeps up on us in the crowded city street, during late night scrolling through social feeds, or in the quiet moments when we are surrounded by people, yet feel alone. Loneliness is a state of isolation that has been marked as one of the most painful human emotions. But does it really have to be this unbearable pain that drains our spirit? Research suggests that loneliness can have serious implications for our mental and physical health. But let's talk about a different perspective on loneliness. The truth is that we often forget this, but loneliness isn't just about feeling like a deserted island. It can be like a secret superpower that helps us grow, understand ourselves better, and even make us more creative and empathetic. The pain of isolation can be intense, but it also acts as a catalyst for profound personal growth. First of all, let's clear something up first. There's a huge difference between being alone and feeling lonely. Ever felt like you're on a deserted island even when you're in a room full of people? Yep, that's feeling lonely. On the other hand, you might find yourself spending a good chunk of time alone. Just you and your thoughts, and you feel perfectly fine. Not a trace of loneliness. Here's a little tip. Try spending some more me time. It might sound counterintuitive, but trust me, it can actually help you feel less isolated. If you're a social butterfly and the thought of extended alone time makes you a bit anxious, don't sweat it. Developing your solo mojo is a skill, and like any skill, it's going to take a bit of time and practice. But here's the twist. Don't just spend time alone for the sake of dodging your loneliness. Use this time to flex your mental muscles. Believe me, some of the greatest ideas and inspirations come during these moments of solitude. It's like your own personal powerhouse for cultivating the strength and determination you need to unlock your full potential. And it's not just me saying this. History is chock full of brilliant minds who have used their alone time as a springboard for amazing ideas. Think about it. Men like Einstein and Newton didn't just sit around twiddling their thumbs when they were alone. They used that solitude to dive deep into their thoughts and come up with revolutionary ideas that changed the world. Now, let's switch gears a bit and talk about some of the big guns in the business world. Ever heard of Elon Musk and Steve Jobs? Of course you have. These guys didn't shy away from spending time alone. They embraced it, using those quiet moments to reflect, come up with groundbreaking ideas, and reinvent the way we live. Now here's the kicker. Being alone doesn't mean you're sad or unhappy. It's about enjoying your own company. You see, living alone can be an adventure. It's about building a relationship with the most important person in your life, you, and finding joy in simple things like getting lost in a book, wandering through a forest, or immersing yourself in a hobby you love. So don't worry when you're alone. Embrace it, because who knows, you might just find your happiest moments there. A while back, I packed up my bags and moved to a different city for my studies. It was a fresh start, a new chapter, and I was super excited. But then, as the novelty started to fade, I found myself feeling pretty alone, kind of like a single star in a massive galaxy. However, as time rolled on, I started to look at my alone time differently. I began reading books, scribbling down my thoughts, and taking long walks all by myself. Exploring the city at my own pace became my new adventure. The loneliness that once felt like a heavy cloud actually gave me the space to grow and understand myself better. I became comfortable just hanging out with me, myself, and I. The city that seemed so alien at first became my personal playground, a canvas where I could create my own story. My journey through loneliness helped me discover more about who I am and how I perceive the world around me. It made me see the beauty in being alone, the strength that comes from bouncing back, and the joy of being cool with just being you. So, yeah, sometimes loneliness sucks, but it doesn't always have to. Sometimes it can lead to some pretty amazing self-discoveries. To sum up the whole discussion, loneliness can be a real bummer, but guess what? It doesn't always have to be. Instead, think of it as a journey into yourself, a chance to grow, to create, and to find out who you really are. If you're feeling a bit lonely, it's okay. Own it, learn from it, grow with it. You'd be surprised at the amazing things you might accomplish and the person you could become. And hey, don't forget to share your own stories about dealing with loneliness. What impact has it had on your life? How have you turned it into a positive? Sharing these experiences can help others feel less alone and remind them that they're part of a larger community. We're all in this together after all. Loneliness might be a universal feeling, but so is our ability to bounce back and grow. I hope you enjoyed this video. Remember, you're not alone in feeling alone. Until next time, peace.